Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome aboard the Chieftain Mark III again to yet another game that I think is quite funny as serving me for background footage purposes only. It's a nice game, but that's about it. A bit of dumb luck flavored with skill and situational awareness. That all packed together and you have a decent game. The next thing is in conjunction or what I thought after the battle, together with some thoughts about aircraft, I had a very strange alignment of thoughts regarding War Thunder RB in general. First of all, there is a difference between planes and tanks at the moment in my thought process. So for planes, I have to say the big problem that I currently see overall throughout all nations is 8.0. 8.0 is a battle rating that is not nice to play for planes, jets, because they're constantly getting nothing but up tiered because not a lot of people are playing 8.0, and yeah, the majority of 9.0 players are fully spaded. So the idea is to just simply, well, use mixed matches. So playing late at night for European Central Time, I'd say, and you more than usually get mixed matches, and then in your 8.0 more than often you're top tier, and you have, you know, gotten away with the nation versus nation aspect. It offers new possibilities. It offers an aspect of instant skill, instant recognition of the situation, not just adapting to your usual climbing paths and farming ways. But then, yet again, the problem with planes is that it's not reliable, and not a lot of people, you know, want that to be. They just insist on playing the game that they're used to with the kind of, you know, meta that they're used to, and when it changes even a little bit, they're outraged. They're outraged and they just demand that, or they think that the game dies because of that. The next thing is for tanks. I have noticed in the Chieftain games playing late at night that for the same amount of kills, having smaller teams, for the same amount of kills, same amount of effort, I get massively more RP. I'm talking here 2, 3, 4,000 RP more per game for 3-4 kills. That's quite something. Even with the talisman, even with certain aspects of a premium account, you quite get the sense. And this is the part where I have a lot of dumb luck. By the way, I didn't notice that the Type 74 got killed, so I still think he's there. And the AAA just did the massive, you know, mistake of not continuing shooting at my direction. So finally I think to myself, well, let's look around, and oh boy. Yeah, and the massive reload advantage of the Chieftain also continues when you're down 2 crew members. It's not as fast, it doesn't profit from a loader bug like on the 2 loader tanks. But then I received reports that that got fixed as well, but you know, I have to check it out myself. Yeah. And then that brings me to the question, does it depend on the time of day? Where you get a different amount of matchmaking, a different amount of income, and how can we use that? And then there is another aspect, PvE. I'm not a huge fan of armored warfare, you know, that kind of World of Tanks copy. You know, but I think they made a big step into a new era of gaming with PvE as an alternative mode compared to PvP. War Thunder also has PvE, but it's very abysmal. It's bad, it's very repetitive. It has no skill to it except for using sometimes different tanks to hold the line, something like the Mouse or the 100, or in a hold down position the T-32. A tank not a lot of people have talked about lately, you know, is something that you then can use to create effect to win the match, but then to get just one booster for a 20, 30, 40 minutes play session. How many RB games could you have played to get, you know, bigger rewards than you would overall gain with one match, even when it's good with like a 200% RP booster, and you're not certain about getting an RP booster? Personally, I don't feel like our Silverline boosters are very much used to me, but that's just me. So I think War Thunder has a great potential in PvE, and part of the devs should really look into it and give it love. Not just, delivering something to a demand that is not very specified. But do you remember Karelia, when we first got this map? When we looked at the bunkers, how the thoughts were about, certain 88s sticking their gun barrels out of it and just shooting at tanks. Why not trying to breach through a bunker line? Why not try to hold the line against multiple tanks from one direction in a real zombie mode, not this wave mode that we have right here that comes from all directions at the same time? That is also, not that challenging, I'd say, for very little rewards. I think PvE is something that War Thunder also should go into. And then the maps. The maps themselves. I've talked about it multiple times, especially about Cursed that I love Cursed, but there is a very loud vocal group that demands smaller maps, maps that more and more go into World of Tanks direction, more and more city maps that completely piss me off because they are as dumb as they sound. City maps? Really? Is that what the community wants? More and more of them? And with less and less bushes and things that you have to render at ULQ to go around that problem that hasn't been fixed in its entirety? I mean, certain improvements were made, no doubt about that, but still, I'm trying not to sound too negative about it, but it really, really annoys the absolute hell out of me to go into, city fights with my British tanks that are so incredibly awesome at tier 4 and tier 5 at long ranges in a city fight where, a lot of AAAs can easily, outperform me in terms of maneuverability, and my big gun and all the penetration means nothing, or not too much. All my turret armor means nothing, and even my Hellcat can kill me easily from the front in my chieftain, for example, where King Tigers gets easily outflanked, and then they look absolutely stupid. I have to point that out. It's the map that has a very big impact on the outcome of the battle. The map that I just played on, Frozen Pass Mountain. I mean, what is fast on top of the hill when it comes to the tunnel? A King Tiger or an M56 Scorpion with a heat shell loadout? Well, let's just not think about it. Let's just have a quick look at the post-battle results. 31,000 silver lines and nearly 10,000 research points for 5 kills and nothing else, no assists, no base capture points. That's quite something. That's the effect of the chieftain. That is a tier 5 tank researching another tier 5 tank that comes after it with a premium account and a talisman without any boosters. And that keeps me playing the chieftain despite, to be honest, many frustrations. You win a lot of games because, you see, when a few British tanks or one tank has a base capture point in its pocket, you know, the 300 spawn points, maybe 1 or 2 kills, and he then gets killed. He also can jump into an aircraft and kill even more German tanks and defeat their planes easy mode, especially the Spitfires. Not even talking about the Brigand with its 16 rockets, 8 launches, you know. If you have air superiority, which is easily achieved with the British against even the Americans or the Germans easy mode, well then you can see which huge amount of damage the aircraft can do. That brings me then to another point that I will probably cover in the next video, and that is how to triple A. How to triple A is very much underestimated, done very often wrongly, and the players just have to get away from the idea of hunting tanks. Anyways, that's it from me today. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the ideas and the thoughts that I just, you know, rambled on about. And as usually, give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.